In the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination, we have seen a return of a very controversial topic and word: cancel culture. As a phenomenon, cancel culture is something that, in order to be explained correctly, requires a certain level of specification, as it's a multi-layered and multifaceted phenomenon. On one hand, cancel culture could be considered as a widespread withdrawal of support of a public figure or company due to something that they said or done that is considered objectionable. In a way, similar to what we call boycotts. Personally, I have no problems with that idea because at the end of the day, it is your right to decide if you want to support a company or a person that hates everything you believe in, you stand for, and fight for. For gaming companies, for example, that have been laughing and giggling at Charlie Kirk's assassination. On the other hand, cancel culture sometimes can reach further into the depth of one's social sphere. People can use cancel culture in order to get someone fired, and in the extreme cases, for doxing and even for hurting physically an individual. Due to the fact that multiple aspects of cancel culture should be discussed, we will address all of them in order to be complete, thorough, and specific. As we move and browse through X in the last few days, an exercise that does require a certain level of cognitive energy, I'm not gonna lie, you will run into people that are trying to get someone else cancelled. On one hand, you have people who are very happy with Charlie Kirk's demise, who are now trying to get decent people, like me and you, cancelled. I heard that there are lists of people that are trying to write down TikTok accounts, YouTube names of creators that, like me, have spoken against this unforeseeable wickedness. To those I say, make sure you do write my name. Write it down in indelible ink. But what about those people that instead are trying to get those who are laughing and celebrating Charlie Kirk's death cancelled? I want to first begin with this. You have someone who films themselves and posts the video on social media. And let's say that on said video they call for more violence towards Charlie's family, for instance, or they giggle, they laugh, they chant, they celebrate, they rejoice of his death. I've seen plenty of people saying, we don't care, you did it to us, so now we're going to cancel you. We're going to do cancel culture on you. But here's the reality. It isn't cancel culture. It's a perfectly legitimate action to take. Let me elaborate and justify it with reason and logic. When someone posts a video online publicly and you amplify that visibility by showing their own video to call them out, it's not cancel culture. I never went to look for private messages or private and personal information. When someone makes a video to laugh at Charlie Kirk's death and they post it, it means they want people to see it publicly. If it's public, it's fair game. If, due to me or you or any of us amplifying that reach, this video gets them a lot of hate, tough luck. It's the nature of online interaction, after all. If they wanted only praises, they should have sent it as a PM to their little diabolical friends. If due to me or you or any of us amplifying that reach, the video gets watched by their employer, and said employer decides in their own freedom that they don't want to have anything to do with people like this in their workforce, I'd say that's a fair outcome. If anything, I'm doing the employer a favor. It is their right to choose what type of person they will have in their workspace. And in some cases, due to the fact that these lunatics are in fact violent, they get dangerous, and it becomes our imperative to make it known. Let me show you an example. Here is an example of what I'm talking about. Let's check this out.
So I keep on seeing like posts about this Charlie dude, whatever, Kirk dude, whatever, regardless. And let me just say this, I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all. And the ones that are above him. Your mayor. Your city councilman. What is it? Georgia Power? The people that keep on raising our shit? The CEO. Get rid of them. Yeah. Like, what? It was so crazy. I watched like a 60 minute, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. 1 minute edit of,
Yes, 1 minute to 60 seconds.
Of like the things he said, and they're like so atrocious that like his wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too because they're carrying on that mentality and that lineage. Like,
I'm gonna stop it right there. Okay. She pushed for Charlie's wife and children to be next. Children. Because They have a hateful mentality. This is what radical politics does. No self-awareness, no decency, no humanity. I've already offered this video to the FBI, myself. So is it cancel culture? No, it is a duty. Because someone who says something like this could be the next shooter. These people need to be called out, but do not engage in violence. Never engage in violence against them. We do not become them. You are better than them. Let the authorities look into it. Let them lose their jobs. Let them lose their friends. Let them lose connections with their family, most likely, because of what they are saying. And if there are legal repercussions, so be it. But don't try and find these people and attack them physically. This is not what we do. Now, this is, of course, for the direct calls for violence. They need to be reported to the correct authorities. You see, cancel culture occurs and is wrong when someone is being cancelled because they believe something. Do I agree with cancelling people who say, hey, I don't like Charlie Kirk. I didn't like him. I didn't agree with anything he said. But what happened to his family is horrible. No. It's their belief. It's fine. They're not doing anything wrong. It would be unfair cancel culture if I was trying to get them cancelled and lose their job simply because we had a different position on political or religious matters or societal matters. That's the wrong cancel culture. And that's the cancel culture that we have had to deal with for years. We haven't been cancelled because we did calls to actions for violence. I never did it in my life and never will. We have been cancelled for wrong thing. That's the type of cancel culture we do not engage in. What we are doing is not cancel culture. Now, what about the other situations? For example, I just stated that, yes, people who call for violence should absolutely be called out. I prefer. People who simply disagree or have different opinions than us, but they're not doing anything like that. Should they be cancelled? No. But what about the others? What about the ones that are not calling for violence, but they're giggling, laughing, drawing little cartoons of, for instance, Charlie Kirk's throat exploding with blood and laugh at when his wife is kneeling in front of his coffin? What about these people? I say call them out too. Because once again, while they may not be doing direct calls to violence, so technically what they're doing is not illegal, it is still highly immoral, and the world has a right to know their faces. After all, they make it public, and public is fair game. And it is crucial to keep that word in mind as we discuss this and navigate this situation. Public. So this database have been informed, database of people making fun of Charlie Kirk goes live. This was shared by this account, and it says we have received nearly 20,000 submissions. Man, if that's not an outrage. This website will soon be converted into a searchable database of all 20,000 submissions, filterable by general location and job industry. This is a permanent and continuously updating archive of radical activists calling for violence. This is the largest fighting operation in history. So, due to the fact that the way they are describing it is specifically for radical activists calling for violence, I'm not opposed to it. I am personally against showing people's home addresses. I think that's wrong and we shouldn't do it. In a lot of states in the United States here is illegal, but there are some states where technically doxing is not illegal as long as the information is found, I believe, through public channels. With that being said, even if it may be technically legal, what are the intentions of you, for instance, doxing an individual who makes videos like this? If you show where they live, your intention is that you most likely want someone to go there and take matters into their own hands, and that is illegal. Which is why I'm against the idea of doxing people in any shape or form. What I am not against, however, is the idea that radical activists calling for violence are called out, shown on screen, and reported to the appropriate authorities to be looked into. And that is, in my opinion, the important line of difference that we need to not cross.
Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears has called for the Dean of Students of Chesterfield County Public Schools to be fired for saying, quote, "Charlie Kirk, you reap what you sow." A Republican candidate for governor saying, "This vile, heartless remark is completely unacceptable, especially from someone entrusted with our children." Also in Virginia, a realtor posted, "The world is a better place with less Trump supporters, period." She was swiftly fired from not one, but 2 jobs. Dustin Fox of Fox Homes Teams writing, "Today, we ended a team member's affiliation with our team. We condemn political violence. We expect everyone who markets under our brand to treat all people with dignity and to serve every client equally. regardless of political views. Samsung Properties wrote, "A realtor affiliated with S&P made a social media post that condoned the assassination of Charlie Kirk. At Samsung Properties, we firmly believe in free speech and the respectful exchange of ideas across the political spectrum. However, we cannot and will not condone or tolerate the promotion of violence in any form against any person." Then there's one teacher in Florida saying, this is not the obituary she was hoping for, but it's a close second. Florida State Senator Jennifer Bradley announcing, "This teacher has been immediately suspended. An investigation will follow. This type of hate has no place in our schools and around our children." There were actually so many teachers in Florida celebrating Kirk's death, the Commissioner of Education had to release a letter saying he's conducting an investigation into every educator who made despicable comments on social media regarding the horrific assassination of Charlie Kirk. Found out a Greenville teacher said, "America became greater today. Due to Kirk's death, the Republican called the superintendent, calling for the teacher to be fired. Less than 2 hours later, she updates on X the teacher has been placed on leave and writes in the comments she agrees with people who says he needs to be fired." Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert wrote, "I'm utterly heartbroken and disgusted when she learned suicide prevention coordinator for Colorado Department of Health described Kirk as a pro-violence dude and a white man who spews horrible stuff."
It's fair game. You made it public. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.